Thank you, Nana, for always showing me how to cook and for being the best example anyone could ask for. So you can fill up the whole entire pan filled with tomatoes. They can be close. We're just going to steam them to get the skins off to make your own tomato sauce. Plus, I have a whole other package that I'm going to add. This plus another one tomato. And they were like $1.30 each, $1.35 the most. And I think it's way more healthier than your packaged sauce. And it tastes way better. Okay, so I just, whoa, baby. See how you can tell the difference and how I started? It probably was in there for 10 minutes. I did not time it. I'm not a timing type person. So I'm going to take the skins off with just a fork. And then I'll show you what to do next.
It makes songs a lot.
So I'm just peeling off. It's really hard to do with one hand because I'm trying to hold the camera with the other. But you just keep peeling it all around. It comes off very simply. You just want to discard the skin.
I can hold it.
Okay, my daughter's going to hold it. Thank you, Sarah. So just, so you put this aside. And then, once all that is finished, we're going to stick it into, and you just leave it like that, okay? And it's okay if some, skin gets stuck on there because I'm going to blend it all up anyway. And then you might say, well, why aren't you just putting it all? I never really did all of the skin. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I'll try it eventually, but I'll show you what happens next. So I'm using garlic and butter. Now, is that a lot of butter? Yes. However, I always put butter into my sauce because it adds a sweetness to it that you just can't find anywhere else. I'd rather do that than use sugars. I'm also putting some olive oil in there. Okay. Now, as far as measurements go, there aren't any really in my life. I always watched my grandmother, so I'm just going to follow her lead. Maybe she had measurements. I don't know. But I don't remember her talking about them, so I just kind of feel it out. Unless it's like a specific recipe that I am following. There's all my tomatoes. I'm going to puree them in my little Ninja food processor. Maybe you have a larger one. It takes me a few times, so. Alright, the garlic looks like it's doing great. We don't want to let it cook more than a minute or two. And we're going to pour that in here. Okay, so this is the final product as far as the food processing of the sauce. See, it looks nice, right? So I can smell that it needs help. So I am going to put salt in there. Now how much? It all depends on the way you like things done. So, and you can always add it later. Now I'm going to, instead of putting the black pepper, I'm going to use the red pepper flakes and oregano from the garden because it is the best. It really is. This is what makes a pizza taste like a pizza. Hey. So you can be very generous with it. Okay. And then some fresh basil. I dried it out, so I'll be picking some off of there, putting in there. And then also some wine. Now, my father uses white wine, which I love too, but I don't have any, so I use the red wine here. See, now, just pour it in as much as you like. And my grandmother used to use the red one. My grandmother would use the red one. My father uses the white one. And I love them both, but I gotta use what I gotta use. Alright. Okay, now red pepper flakes are really hot, so we want to be sensitive to all people. And I already put the basil in there. Fresh basil is where it is at. And to sweeten it up even more, I'm gonna food process some carrots and throw that in. So there's my carrots. Nice, right? Nice and fine. And they're very similar in color, so nobody will know. And, Stella left. And always the grated cheese. Yeah, you don't mind, Sarah. And so I use a nice amount there. And nobody will know. And so you might, depending on how it tastes later, you can still play around with it, add whatever you would like, of course. And you can even put onions. Saute some of those up in some butter, always butter, and a little bit of olive oil. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. Okay, and then I don't know if I'm going to make the meatballs in there or not. I'm not really sure that I want to do that, just because meat goes bad fast, and I'd like to have some sauce on hand that usually, without the meat, would last longer. So I think I'll put some aside as I cook the meatballs. So there's my sauce. Like I said, I'm probably going to look around at all my herbs and things and, doctor it up here, fix it there, it needs altering. You'll know. Maybe more wine, I don't know. So, thanks for joining us.